Alright, okay everyone, welcome back. So, we got a new game here to look at. So this one is from newbeamthegreat, okay? And the rating is 1480. And the opponent is 1495. Okay, so newbeamthegreat is the black pieces in this game. And, okay, and the opponent is the white pieces. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so let's take a look at this here. Let's go ahead. So, e4, e5, knight c3, knight c6. Okay, just theory. Knight f6. Okay, yeah, d3, yeah. Yeah, so nothing's happening. Just theory, a3. Okay, so I don't know if a3 was necessary immediately, but I guess it's not bad, but it seems like you could just go ahead with knight f3 with the opponent, or, well, the opponent could have just gone ahead with knight f3, I think. I don't think a3 is, yeah, it gives the bishop a retreat, but I don't know if that's necessary yet. Okay. a3, d6, h3. Also, this is another move that isn't exactly the most challenging. So doing moves like a3 and h3, in this case, they waste a little bit of time. And so this isn't the most challenging. I know that it will avoid any pins that can happen when this knight comes to f3 on the next move, but in this case, it's not necessary. Okay. h6. Also, h6 isn't necessary either because, again, you want to be trying to challenge your opponent. Sometimes when you make moves on the side of the board, it takes time that you could be using to accomplish other things. And knight f3. So here's what I mean. So let's take a look at this real quick. Say you play another move, like say you just go a6. Well, just to kind of show my point as to why you don't need to worry about the pin. Because if you just play something like a6, then the bishop g5, h6, and if bishop h4, g5, and then you're gaining space on the side when the center's closed, and with these pawns are moving forward, it's less likely that castling kingside will be safer for this king. And also, what's this bishop going to be doing on g3? It doesn't look like it's incredibly active. So just to kind of show my point as to why you don't necessarily need to fear the pin. You know, something like this doesn't exactly look all that great for white. Okay? Okay, h6, knight f3, a6, bishop a2, bishop e6. So yeah, I like this. Because you don't mind if you get doubled pawns if the bishop takes. Because then you'd get the open f-file. And although the pawn is doubled, it is an extra center pawn. So yeah, I like that. Okay. Bishop d2. I feel like this maybe wasn't the best choice for white because, well, yeah, I get it that the bishop's off the back row. But the thing is it's not incredibly clear how this bishop is being incredibly useful on d2. Whereas, you know, a move like just castling, well, that's clear that that's a good move. Whereas the bishop being on d2 seems like it's not the most useful square for that bishop. Alright, queen d7, d5, bishop a7, and c4. Okay, so this move I don't like for white because it's blocking in his own bishop. And yes, it is gaining space, it is supporting the knight for white, but the thing is it makes it more difficult for this bishop to really be certain what it's doing, because all these pawns are blocking it. Okay, and as we all know, Lisa Simpson says, a blockaded bishop is of little value. So yeah, look at all these pawns blockading that bishop. So Lisa Simpson would not be very happy. Okay, bishop d4. Okay. Knight takes. The one thing is I feel like the knight is better, would have been better on d4 rather than the bishop. Because I don't know, because the knight doesn't have to take. I mean, white could just go ahead and castle. Because let's go for variation. You know, just say something like this happens. You know, just some type of variation. You can just go ahead and castle, and then you're still developing, and you know, there's no real threat of this pawn or anything. You just go ahead and do whatever you want. You know, go ahead with what you want as white, and then you're still pretty good. Whereas you know, maybe that bishop isn't as good there as the knight. Because, you know, I feel like just the knight's would be slightly better a choice. Because a knight likes a strong square in the center of the board. You know. But okay. Knight takes, and also, yeah, the knight doesn't have to take. He probably could have just castled. That's what I would have done. But because he takes, then this knight gets the center square. That's pretty good for that knight. Okay, bishop b3, c5, bishop takes d4. Okay, and yeah, this wasn't so great. This is a mistake because knight b6. Yeah, forking the rook and queen. So white could just play that. Okay, but bishop takes d4, e takes d4, and then b3 again. Still missing this fork. So yeah, and also not only is this tactically is unaware, but it's also positionally unaware because one more pawn now goes onto a light square hindering this bishop. So it's kind of a double question mark there. That's so a little bit unfortunate. If you're playing, you want to avoid putting your pawns on the same square as your remaining bishop, because the light square bishop's the only one left. So putting all the pawns on the light squares might not be the best idea. And in addition, it is missing this fork. Okay, bishop takes d5, e takes d5, and now we have a better minor piece endgame. So yeah, so this is very good for black, because when you start making trades, the differences between one piece really makes itself known. Because you got one piece versus one piece, but this knight is much better. Because all these pawns are blocking this light squared bishop. So better minor piece ending. Okay, queen e7, queen e2, and then the more trades that happen, the more it starts to show the difference in an endgame. Okay, king q, rook f8. Okay. Yeah. So here we go. Bishop c2. Yeah, this bishop is not very happy. It's bouncing around a little bit. Okay. Rook takes. Rook takes. Yeah. So I would like this type of endgame because better minor piece. I would be pretty happy with that. And also, it's difficult for this bishop with so many light square pawns. Meanwhile, a lot of black pawns are on dark squares, so this bishop won't ever be able to attack these. Also, notice how the pawns are kind of static, like they're kind of fixed. A lot of these pawns can't even move, so it makes it even harder for the bishop when there's a more closed position. Okay, and the only piece left is a knight, which it does well in those types of positions. Okay, king e2, g5, g4, knight d7. Okay, a4, b4, yeah, that's good. Okay, that's a good move because you don't want to open these pawns up, and you want to keep white's pawns on light squares, and you don't want to change this pawn structure. Okay. Bishop d1, a5, king g3, f4, knight d7. Okay, bishop e2, f6, h4, yeah, and at this point it actually is looking kind of drawish because it's hard for there to be a breakthrough, but it's definitely easier for black to play because this knight is more useful. You know, this knight would like to come to a square like e3, and you know, definitely does look like it's kind of a draw because there's stuff to get a breakthrough, but black should probably play on because it looks better for black, you know, the knight. Okay. You know, especially like if you're playing in a live game, and sometimes even in positions that that look drawn, sometimes your opponent will make a mistake when they have like a bad piece and things like that. Okay, so king e4. Right here, there was a chance though. There is a chance though. So you can try to make some progress by playing f5. When if g takes king f6, and you can eventually win your pawn back while changing the structure a little bit. So it gives you a little bit of room to try to make something happen. And then, you know, knight on e3, and this knight's looking very good, and you know, there's some chances here. Okay, but that would have been, that's the move I would play. There would have been a chance for f5, and then the game, king f7 was played, however. Okay, and bishop f3, king e7, and both sides just kind of make moves, and really, I think a draw could have been agreed. The only last chance that one side really had to make a change in the structure, which still would result in a draw, by the way. But the only last chance to create a difference, just to give one more chance, you could have take the bishop here. And then maybe something like just see if white would go to the wrong square. That would be the last chance to really try to get white to make a mistake. Because if white isn't paying attention, you can outmaneuver, and then you can win a pawn. But and that's only because this is the end of the game, probably running low on time. So that's really the last chance to try to make something happen. Maybe time trouble, maybe they make the mistake of that, of just jumping there, and then you get h6, and then the white king would be forced to move away. Okay. But in the game, black didn't take, just played king e7. And yeah, so just a few more moves until the game ends. Okay, so let's just get to this final position here. Alright, and then so right here, I believe, yeah, this is the last move. Okay, king e7, and then here the game is a draw. So yeah, probably could have been agreed to a draw sooner, because there's no real way to break through. But yeah, so it's an interesting game. Yeah, so the knight was definitely better in this minor piece endgame. Just no way to break through though. So that is the thing. There was that one chance with f5 maybe to try to make some opening. And, you know, that way you can try to make progress with this piece that's better. But in any case, you know, draw is definitely not bad. But sometimes if you have a better minor piece, you can use something as simple as that to win in an endgame like this. And really, these types of endgames are important to learn. Like, you know, maybe set up some minor piece endgames like this against computers, and then play them through and practice them. And that's one way to get good at them. And endgames are really an important thing to work on, because if you know your endgames, you can always push things. You know, maybe like that f5 move, and then maybe try to make progress. Because really, it's much easier for black to play in this type of position. So if you can make the endgame last longer, then there's more chances for your opponents to make mistakes with the bad piece, and there's less good choices for them. It's easy for them to make a mistake and lose. Okay. So, it's an interesting game. I think that'll be it for this one. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.